Good afternoon and welcome to True Crime Voice for the Voiceless. Hi, I'm Maria. Today we're going to discuss the Jayme Lynn Closs murder and abduction case. Let's get to it. This case takes place in Barron, Wisconsin on October 15th of 2018. Jayme Lynn Closs was 13 years old and an only child to James and Denise Closs. Jayme was known to be very close with her parents. She enjoyed spending time with them. She was very active and participated in a lot of activities, cheer, dance, and outdoor activities. She absolutely loved listening to music. Now, October 15th of 2018, Jake Patterson drove to the Closses' home with all the intentions of kidnapping Jayme Closs. So this was the third time he had driven to the home. The first two attempts, he was spooked when he heard a lot of people in the house, and he was worried there might be some witnesses. Shortly before 12:53 a.m., he parked his car in the driveway of Jayme's home. Jayme didn't even know Jake. He seen her when he was driving to work one day, getting on the bus for school, and he decided he wanted her. Now, Jayme's dog started barking and alerted the family that someone was in the driveway. They noticed the car in the driveway. Now it was 12:53 a.m., and they knew that didn't seem right. So Jayme and her mother, Denise, went into the bathroom and hid in the bathtub, while her father, James, went to the front door. Now Jake was dressed in black, wearing a face mask, a hat and gloves, and had a shotgun, but I'm not really sure if the father could see the shotgun. Now Jayme's father shone a light on Jake through the glass pane of the front door and asked him to show his badge. He thought he was an officer. Jake swore at him and told him to open the door. James asked him to show his identification. At that moment, he fired once, fatally shooting him. Then he kicked his way in through the door. Now, when Jayme and her mother, Denise, went to the bathroom, Denise called 911, but she didn't say anything. But the operator could hear what was going on in the background before it disconnected. Jake looked through the house and found them hiding in the bathroom. He grabbed Jayme and duct taped her wrists and ankles, and then he fatally shot Denise Closs. He then dragged Jayme outside. He almost slipped on blood that was on the floor, and he placed her inside his trunk and drove away. Now, the sad thing is that the police got there in about 4 minutes, and they actually passed him driving, but they didn't know it was him. Jake took 13-year-old Jayme to a remote cabin in rural Wisconsin and made her change into different pajamas, and this is where he held her as prisoner. He would threaten her and tell her that bad things would happen if she tried to escape. Now, whenever he left the home, he would hide her underneath his bed. He would barricade it with bins filled with weightlifting equipment. She was unable to see out or get out. When Jake's father would visit, he would put her under the bed and turn loud music on so if she made any noises, he wouldn't hear anything. During this time, everybody knew about this case. An Amber Alert was issued. It was all over the news. Thousands of volunteers were looking for Jayme, walking miles and miles trying to find any clues. They had press conferences and they put flyers everywhere. Jayme would be left under the bed, confined for 12 hours at a time with no water, no bathroom breaks, and no food. At one point, she accidentally moved one of the bins, and James threatened her and said bad things would happen if she did it again. On one occasion, when James got really upset, he hit her really hard in the back of the head with a curtain rod. He believed that she was too afraid to try and escape. He'd make her sleep in the same bed with him, and he never let her go outside. Well, not very often. On occasion, he would let her walk on the lawn, but he would always make sure that there was no one around. James had Jayme prisoner for nearly 3 months. But on January 10, 2019, James left the home to go to a job interview. He put her underneath the bed, as he usually did, but shortly after he left, Jayme pushed out one of the objects and got out from underneath the bed. She put on a pair of James's sneakers and she was wearing a light t-shirt and leggings. She ran from the house. Jayme approached a woman that was walking her dog and told her that a stranger had kidnapped her and that he had killed her parents. They immediately took her to a neighbor's house. They called 911. When authorities arrived, Jayme told them that she had been taken from her home and her parents had been killed, that she had been prisoner a few houses away from her current location in the neighborhood. Now, while all this was happening, James actually ended up showing up back at home, and he realized that she had escaped. So he jumped in his car and started to look for her. Now, around 4:45, the police took Jayme to safety. She gave them a description of James, his car, and his home. Now, when the police were taking Jayme to safety, they spotted James's car driving by. So they notified another officer to apprehend him. When they pulled James over, he exited his car and he said, "I did it." He was arrested and taken in for questioning. Jayme was taken to the hospital with an armed guard for her protection. The next morning, she was released to her aunt, Jennifer Smith, and reunited with her loving dog. Now, James Patterson pleaded guilty to 2 counts of first-degree intentional homicide and 1 count of kidnapping. On May 24th of 2019, James Patterson was sentenced to 2 consecutive life sentences in prison without parole, plus an additional consecutive 40 years. When Jayme was finally able to speak to the public, she stated she wasn't able to leave the home or do anything in public. She had a very hard time feeling safe and even going to sleep. A thank you sign was displayed in Barron, Wisconsin at a Dairy Queen after Jayme was found alive. It read, "Thank you for bringing her home." Jayme Lynn Closs now lives with her aunt and uncle. Jayme has become an advocate for other missing and exploited children. It took Jayme 2 years, but she is now able to dance again. Please let me know in the comments below what case you'd like me to cover. Thank you so much for watching True Crime Voice for the Voiceless. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. That would really help me out. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.